You're watching NappyCast by Jason Nappy Weather. I'm tracking the big heat wave coming our way today, tomorrow, even a part of Wednesday. And then a cold front comes through. I'm tracking severe weather, the threat for that. It's all coming up in the forecast here. And then stick around for a middle to the end part of this video where I talk about Maine and New England in more detail. Right now, let's start off with a wide picture to show you what is going on. You've got a big ridge here that is developing right off the coast of Georgia, Carolina, pumping in all that heat and humidity that's going to be pushing north and east. Look at how cool it is up towards the upper Midwest and the Northwest and the Rockies, 30s, 40s, snow out in Idaho. Yeah, summertime snow. It does happen out there. Close to around a foot of snow up in the mountains, right? Let's take a look now at what's going on. The surface analysis. This shows where that cold front is coming in from the west here up towards the high plains. There's your cold front. But ahead of that, here is your big ridge that is setting up, and then a warm front to our north here. This warm front is going to allow all of that heat to push north and east and create some of the hottest temperatures we've seen in a long time, the mid-Atlantic, in the Northeast, and also record-breaking, widespread record-breaking temperatures, which I'll get to in a second. But I first want to show you, you're going to be asking me today and tomorrow, when is the relief? A lot of people are going to be asking. Well, here is the cold front that comes through later Tuesday into Wednesday with high pressure building in. So late Tuesday to Wednesday, but that front's going to take some time to come in. Okay, so it is going to be several more hours of heat and humidity. And speaking of heat, here's a look at the records. Now, this map here shows all of the circles are forecasted record high temperatures. And look at all of these circles, right, around these temperatures. This is without the humidity. This is just the air temperature, okay? It does not factor in the humidity. And you are well into the, check that out, 100s, in the Northeast, the Mid-Atlantic, you're in the triple digits, okay? I'm going to zoom in and show you that in more detail now. You can see today, this is Monday, widespread 90s, upper 90s. But watch when I put the map into Tuesday, day 2. Now you are in the triple digits here from Boston all the way down to Philadelphia and Virginia, okay? Look at all of that, right? You have well into 100 plus for temperature without humidity, and it is going to be very humid, okay? So it is not just the heat, it is the humidity, especially on the East Coast. And all courtesy of this big ridge that is going to get even bigger as this trough digs out west, okay? So this ridge has to amplify because this trough digs towards the west here. And with that trough digging, the high just amps up, it gets even bigger, and we're going to have the heat pump in. But then the trough begins to weaken by Wednesday and Thursday. The ridge begins to weaken. To see this ridge break down, see those bright colors have gone away now. It's not as amped up, the highs, so it's not going to be as hot. Here comes that trough to the northeast. That will help to weaken the high, okay? Kind of break down that deflector shield of heat, that heat dome, and we'll see things cool down to the northeast. But it'll still be hot and humid because you have heights there are still going to be above typical. Now, into an early look at the 4th of July. I want to show you that. There is an opportunity here for a trough to come through in the 4th of July weekend, which is pretty rare. Typically, 4th of July, you see a big ridge here, like we're seeing now, and just heat. You don't typically see a trough dip in on the 4th of July. Typically, that is peak summer. So be aware, especially on the 4th, for some cooler weather to come in. Now, today, severe weather outlook for your Monday. Notice you've got a stripe of a level 2 out of 5 here from the Great Lakes down to the plains and also the northern part of Maine, Central Highlands north up into the county where you have that severe weather threat. You're not going to have much here except garden variety stuff underneath the heat dome, but around the periphery of this heat dome is where you get that severe weather and that cold front that is approaching. I showed you that cold front that is approaching, right? That gets here later tomorrow into Wednesday for the Northeast. Okay, and I'll show you that in more detail now. Here, day 2 severe. Let me bring this up for you so I can show you. So here's where the cold front is going to be. So if you're looking at the threat for severe weather on Tuesday, it would be a level 1 threat here. This is the cold front coming through Tuesday afternoon, okay? Not a big deal, but there will certainly be a few pulse storms, a few pop-up showers and thunderstorms. But really, the all eyes, all focus is on the heat. On Tuesday is when it peaks, and where you have the magenta from Boston, which is a heat island, basically right next to the ocean. But Boston, even close to the ocean, is not going to see a sea breeze. And then Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, Indianapolis, Louisville, DC, Richmond, Norfolk. And if you go to my blog on jasonhappyweather.com, you're going to see where it's going to be around 115 degrees around DC, around Richmond. That's where I have it. I zoomed in on the map there, so you can really see how hot it's going to be there. So this is a heat wave that you make sure that pets are taken care of and are indoors for most of this, especially during peak heating. Check on the elderly, check on children, and I have to remind you, do not leave pets or children or anyone inside a car. I don't care if you crack the windows open a little bit. It will be well into 100, 200 degrees inside those cars next few days. Okay, really, even when it's 80 degrees, it can get to 100 in a car. So really, should not leave people in cars, pets in cars, really anything. Things are going to melt. The concrete is going to buckle under this heat, okay, like it's been doing down in the south. More 90s today in the forecast. 95 to 105 plus with humidity. We'll get close to 110, even in Maine with the humidity, okay? Around Augusta, the capital district, it's going to be just disgusting how hot it's going to be for a place that rarely sees it. Unless you like that sort of thing. If you do, great for you. Most people, not big fans in Maine. It doesn't happen very often, and most people don't have air conditioning. The heat does break late Wednesday into Thursday, okay? On late Wednesday to Thursday, that high pressure begins to break down, that ridge breaks down, heat starts to go down from north to south. So southern Maine is going to see the heat hold on longest with this, but up in the mountains, it'll start to break into Wednesday, 80, 72, 68. Here comes the rain Saturday, Friday night to Saturday. So another Saturday with rain. Now, this past Saturday it didn't rain, but it did rain on the weekend for part of the state. So the streak will be alive for weekend rain, unfortunately, but this is not as bad as 2 summers ago, okay? It's not going to rain every day, and we're not going to have downpours every day like pretty much 2 summers ago, but we are getting rain on the weekend again. 90 to 99. Look at the jump Monday, Tuesday inland. And inland, that's an average of a high temperature. Some places are going to make a run for 100 without the humidity. This is not factor in humidity on Tuesday, okay? Tomorrow. That's how extreme it's going to be. Without the humidity, a run for 100. With the humidity, a run for 110. Okay, 77, 76, much cooler, north wind, and then we get some more humidity next week. But that is nothing like we're going to see today and tomorrow. Next week, 77, 80, but it's 80 to 96. So we go at the coast from an onshore breeze, immediate coastline, only around 80 to 96. Once we get that land breeze Tuesday, things switch. And the reason why heat is so dangerous is that your body naturally tries to cool itself by perspiring, by sweating. It will do that, but it's going to have a very hard time, very difficult time doing that when there is so much moisture in the air. The dew point is going to be in the 70s. So you have tropical air by our standards here, dew points 70 plus. So because of that, your body, even though the air is light, it's not heavy, it's going to feel heavy because you can't cool down. Your body has a difficult time cooling down. So unless you really like a tropical, you will struggle, and it is life-threatening. Remember, heat kills more people every year in the United States than any other weather event. So take this very seriously. This is not just typical summer heat, and even that can kill, but this is the real deal heat, especially people that don't have air conditioning, heat pumps to keep you cool. So get to a cooling center, be safe. We do cool down later into the week. It's not a long duration heat wave, but it is a heat wave regardless, unofficially. Typically and technically, you have to get to 90 plus for a heat wave. I'm going to call it a heat wave anyway because it is going to be so hot with humidity briefly.